First and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in the gospel, brother, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is a quick lesson through the Spirit titled "That Will Be a Recompense for Babylon the Great," predicated on the destruction of America. All right, Salakia. But anyway, recompense goes into the payback. And when you go into the book of Joel, 3rd chapter, the Lord said, "Would you render me a recompense? Surely and swiftly would I recompense you." Roughly paraphrasing in Joel 3, "Would you render me a recompense? Slowly and surely would I bring you your recompense upon your own head." Because see, these other nations, starting with Esau, Edom, first and foremost, thought to have recompensed the Most High because of what they did to us. You know, the Israelites, which is the Lord's chosen people, they still got us in captivity to this day. And when you look at the injustices that's being done as a collective to our people, you know, the people feel like they won up the Most High, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai. All right, but that's not the case, because when you go into the book of Baruch, it tells us that we should remember ourselves and we should think to call upon the name of the Heavenly Father. And what are the chances that we got the true, pure Paleo Hebrew name, or the true Hebrew name of the Most High and His Son? Damn, move, squirrel. You know, these animals be bugging. But anyway, what are the chances that we got the true name of the Heavenly Father and His Son back in this captivity? Which proves without a doubt that we got the true name, and we believe that through faith. You know, you got guys out there, and everybody knows, you know, who I'm speaking about, the Purple Boys, the cops of Israel, the detectives of Israel. They say that we don't have the true name of the Heavenly Father and His Son. But if we don't have the true name, then why is prophecy being fulfilled? And for one thing, how are we going to get delivered out of here if we don't have the true name? You know, and that does not justify us using the term Jesus Christ, okay? Because that's not the name of the Father and the Son. Anyway, going back into recompense, there will be a judgment that will be played out in great totality on Babylon, and we're seeing the effects of it now, all right? Because when you look at these sleeper cells, even though a lot of it is propaganda, a lot of these sleeper cell groups have come across the border, you know, after 9/11, before 9/11, and even going back into 2023, and allegedly, you know, a little bit after, well, they had something they call Title 42, which they closed the borders down. But see, that was done on purpose because that was a way of targeting the tribes, you know. But they let a lot of sleeper cells come over here, and it tells us in Job that the Most High was going to appoint terror over them, you know. So these sleeper cells that will be activated here in America, they're going to do some damage from within, you know, because they are already over here. And it's not the fact that the U.S. government don't have any type of idea that these splinter cell groups or sleeper cell groups are over here. They know, okay? They gave them the blueprint. They gave them the layout, okay? They told them, like, well, look, this is such and such, such and such. They gave them the keys to the infrastructure. They gave them every goddamn thing, man. Okay, all that about the cyber attacks in China is that, look, man, if they are hacking America's infrastructure, it's because America gave it to them. Okay, now I'm not saying that the CIA is not hackable, but what the fuck wrong with these people? But the fact about it is, you got the so-called highest form of intelligence on the planet Earth that's being hacked by mere third-party worlds or countries, and yet they get in your shit. That's some inside shit going on here, man. So what you're gonna start to see eventually is that these attacks are gonna start being set up on the on U.S. soil, man. Whether they be in these cities, whether they be at particular venues such as amusement parks or concerts. You know, they've already been shooting up churches and schools for some time, you know, but that's just gonna elevate, you know, because I know here in KC, they got what they call the World Cup coming here in 2026. And honestly speaking, that would be the perfect time for Esau to release a splinter cell group, man. I mean a sleeper cell. When I think of splinter cell, I'm thinking of you know, the video game with the, you know, it's essentially the same thing. Sleeper cell, splinter cell, they all both agents of chaos. You know, but anyway, that'll be a perfect time for them to enact judgment on Babylon. You know, because you're going to have record numbers of people in attendance. And then you're going to have people from all walks of life, people from Spain, people from different parts of Europe, people from Asia that's coming to this city to watch the World Cup next year. That's if, you know, we make it that far, you know. So what would be the perfect time of the Lord to allow something to happen in America than that? You know, which I speculate something may happen a lot sooner, you know. But regardless of it, this place is ripe for freaking judgment, man. You know, because I was watching this video earlier about this child support shit and how these judges, they have something which is called, I think they called it like the child fund or some shit. I was looking at it, and it's a group of judges and state's attorneys that come on a panel, and they all get together and they exploit the fathers of America, and mainly Jake's. Because I was reading this book earlier this year, it was on ebook, and it was about this Jake that got caught up in the child support system over a bitter baby mama. But what happened was he broke it down, and he figured out through research that child support was set up to oppress poor people, poor men. What they call a debt ceiling or a class ceiling, when the rich stays rich and the poor, you know, the poor is poor, you know. And that's why you have what they call classes of people, man. Because when you go into the parable of the rich man and Lazarus, we represent Lazarus. The rich man represents the elites, man. And you notice that it said that there was a great gulf fixed between the two. Even when the poor man was trying to fare well by working for the rich man, it was a threshold that he couldn't cross abroad, because the systems that was in place were set up to oppress Israelites, man. So that's why you see this place getting judged with the crazy weather. The food is all messed up. You got a lot of death, a lot of judgment, okay, a lot of storms. You know, just this year alone, the storms have been just breathtaking, man. Okay, we had a storm that took place, a tornado that hit in the north side of St. Louis, man, in the hood. Then 2 weeks later, we had a tornado that touched down in the city of Kansas City by the hood and by the stadium, man. And that's judgment, though, and that's the spirit, because next year the World Cup is going to be exactly where that tornado hit at, over there at what a Chiefs Stadium is. I think they're going to have it in the stadium, you know, and that tornado touched down over there. So, hey, you know, hey, the Lord, he's what they call, the Lord works in mysterious ways, man. This thing can really pop, but, you know, it's just a wait and see approach. But retrospect, you know, hey, let judgment rain down his waters, man. Okay, let Yahweh Shai start to really open up on these cities, because, you know, we got these protests here and there, but a lot of it is just really staged. A lot of it is paid agitation. You know, they pay these actors to go in these cities and start to disrupt tensions and all this other stuff. But there's going to come a time that real life ammunition will be used, man. Okay, because the people, and it's my opinion that the people that come over here, those are actual foreign military. Because it tells us in Ezekiel, the 23rd chapter, that a foreign military is going to pretty much invade this place. And the Lord was going to set up over them the judgments that they wanted to fulfill on his people. So the Iranian motherfuckers, man, them people from UN, them Hamites, them Haitian people, man, hey, a lot of them could be sleeper cell agents, man, just waiting to be activated. And they will use live ammunition on America, because remember, America has spoiled many nations, man. Okay? Look at what they did to Gaddafi. Look at what they did to Saddam Hussein. Look at what they did to Iran, Iraq. And all these militaries of the world and different military powers, hey, they coming up against Babylon. It tells you that in Habakkuk that since you spoil many nations, you should be spoiled. So this place is going to be spoiled, man, and everybody in it. If you ain't of the elect, we say essentially, if you're not of Yahweh Shai's elect, then it's safe to say that you're not going to make it out of this thing in one piece, man. Okay, because these people, they're narcissistic, they're full of envy, they're full of pride, hate, murderer, you know, witches, warlocks. Like, there's a lot of witchcraft. Like the brother said, he said America is one big giant fucking Ouija board, a big seance, man. Everything around you, from the food you eat to the job you work, is all shrouded in witchcraft and sorcery, debauchery and wickedness, man. It's all around you. Just look at the way, like, I'm downtown now, passing downtown. They got ziggurats as buildings, and you go back into ancient Babylon and Assyria, look up what that word ziggurat means, man. It was basically like an upper sanctuary that a lot of these elites and Chaldeans went to worship, man. And they build their buildings the same way, or after the semblances of their gods, man. So America is nothing but a big stomping ground for witches and warlocks and demons, man. All right, that is what it is. It's one big fucking big powder keg of wickedness. Isaiah 47, stand down with thy enchantments, O daughter of Babylon, man. All right, because you know the presidents, the elites, the modern day Chaldees, they believe in witchcraft, man. Okay, propaganda is nothing but witchcraft through the media, which like a psychic or a spirit medium is a witch that basically can channel between the realm of the living and then the realm of the dead, which is the spirit world. You know, so they're able to channel through spirits, and the Most High warned us about that. You know, that's what those ancient Egyptians were doing in Egypt. When Moses went before him, the Lord sent plagues on Egypt because of the wickedness, and ultimately because, you know, they held us in captivity and they didn't let us go. But even then, the Lord had multiple reasons on why to destroy ancient Egypt because of the wickedness, man. You know, he's going to destroy this modern day Egypt through the sword, through pestilence, through famine, through economic turmoil, you know. So yeah, Yahweh Shai, man, he doesn't miss. Man, unlock my fucking alignment out, man. Fuck. That's another thing too. Like, how the hell you gonna be the richest country in the world, but yet you can't even afford to keep fucking roads without potholes? And you put all this concrete down on asphalt, which breaks down in the winter and the summertime. You know, a good asphalt job may last a good year if you're lucky. I seen them blacktop roads just for them to crack another couple of months, man. Like one highway out here, 435. They literally, this is like the second or third time doing that shit, man. You know, and it's all fucked up again. And that's another thing too, man. That's why this place gotta go. And that's a sign that it is going, because the infrastructure is crumbling. You know, the same thing in what happened in Rome. The infrastructures were crumbling around them because they didn't invest in infrastructure. They put all their money into this war machine. Okay, America put fucking 90% of their money or their wealth or substance goes into fucking fighting wars, man. Forever wars. All wars are bankers' wars. There was actually a book and a movie on that. All wars are bankers' wars, man. But yeah, this place is getting ready to see the Heavenly Father's judgment. And the thing of it is, the scriptures say that they will remain in the plague. So when the plagues really hit America, ain't gonna be no turning from them, man. It's gonna be all hell breaking, a constant powder keg of judgment raining down on Babylon and these people, and you see why. Okay, you got a bunch of freaks, moles, lesbians all around here just doing whatever the hell they want to do. They have no fear, disrespectful, running up, punching men, and then screaming, we got rights. That shit finna be a thing in the past, man. You know? But anyway, at my destination, brothers, man, just through the spirit, we're just kind of meditating on that, because I was praying on it last night. Well, yesterday evening, that Yahweh Shai finally brings judgment to this place. And then we saw a rainbow, and I don't know what I saw in the rainbow, but the brothers speculate that it was a chariot. You know, chariots going through the rainbow, man. Look like lightning flashes going through the rainbow, and that's the spirit. So hey, and it was a double rainbow, and it was very, very vibrant at that. You know. But anyway, I'm gonna end it giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai Ba'ashim Rakakwadash. Fuck is this? Lord's will, you edify until the next lesson. Shalom.